Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John. This report is for the 14th of October. Well, we had a little backfilling into our positive extremes, came right to the 61%, supported right off that level as we continue to have ABM rising, and this all coming off that initial buy that started to see the P2 pivot that took place after the initial dip and brought us right back to what we expected from the highs. Now, of course, you'll get people that'll be talking double tops at this particular point, right as we're heading into the election. Always an interesting factor from a NASDAQ standpoint. Cyan under red, and there's that expansion that you look for. So potentially the NASDAQ's the one that's going to lead to the higher levels. From the Euro standpoint, again, like I talked about, we had this battle going on between Euro and US as far as US would like a higher Euro, and the Euro does not want that, and this is that back and forth, and we've been still outside the range. We're just right at the top side of it that we talked about. It goes down to the 108 between the 115 range, so they're still outside of it, and I can imagine they want to fill back some of these positive extremes that will bring us all the way back in line right into that 114, 115 range. And from a gold standpoint, still just holding flat here. Again, it's part of that is that stimulus hold up, and I noticed that it's about to pass their version of a light. So we'll see if there's any defections from the Democrat side on the House that would potentially get that, even though I don't think that Nancy Pelosi from her stance is going to let that even come to a vote. So kind of everyone's held hostage, so to speak, while they play around with that. From an intraday standpoint, quite wild. Started off with a little bit of the fade that was coming through, and this is an interesting exception that I've been working on language with, where we get that sudden dip of cyan under red, but then forms a DOC spread with the crossover orange up. That always tends to be a negative, at least to retest the lows, which I'm going to test it out and see actually could be even an effective mini short trade within a broader setup. But we were generally trading marginally lower for most of the day. And then we started getting little pop signals coming in between that were just unable to really find any strength until, well, much later on. Because we ended up with a couple of pops as we had the lower 100% line and price trade to move it. Wasn't able to get to it, which that usually suggests you're going to end up having more weakness. And when we came back to those lows, still wasn't able to drive anything. I mean, they were just pretty much modest pop attempts. It was just this lack of a DOC steel reset. You can see it stays above red throughout all of this range going through here. We finally did get our move back towards that 100% at the later part of the day on a nice finish rally. And again, this filled a lot of those positive extremes that we had from the previous run-up. If we slide all the way back, we had all of these going back right through here down to the 35 range that needed to get filled, and that's exactly what we got as we came through here. And then we dipped slightly below it just to make sure they were all full, and once that was done, able to rebuild, and we're back up to pretty close to the mid-range in between there. Just plug it along one step at a time. That's what the markets will do. As always, though, anything relevant I will put up on the Skype chat, and we'll go through any of those little special circumstances that come across and get them worked in as we get tighter and tighter. A little bit by little bit. Trade well. We will talk again later.